Hello folks, welcome to GingerLion. It's Agrarian Skies playthrough. This is a modded Minecraft pack available on the Feed the Beast launcher. It is a hardcore questing map which involves starving a lot, which I'm trying to keep from doing, and having to make ores for yourself. So, those of you who saw my last episode, here we go. That system sometimes shuts down for a couple of moments. You'll note we've used up almost all of our ore sands. Nickel's the only one that's currently got a little bit of a backlog. Take it back, there's a little bit of silver. If we look here, none of these have more than 4 in it except this, and I guarantee that's just waiting for a slot in the crafting system. So, I could have made my crafting system a little bit faster, and at some point in the future I may, but if you'll notice, this smelter does shut down. So, I've finished using this for primary ore smelting, but I got all these, valuable resources in it. So what exactly am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch how these are all configured. I'm going to switch all of these to suck the various liquids back out and pump them back into the smeltery. Whack, whack. The value of a crescent hammer. Now each one has to do its thing separately, but once each one of these basins is empty, I'm going to tear it down to make sure that at no point in time does anything backflow into one of these. So, come on, everything back into the system. There is going to be some alloying that occurs in there. I'm 100% fine with that. At this point, all I really care about is getting my various ingots out in some usable form instead of them just being stuck here in this pipe. This fluid duct claims it's empty. Grab these back. I'm not going to be using this anymore, so pull this apart. Now these aren't flowing for some reason, so let me give them a whack. See if there's any issues over here. No fluid filter. Nothing's blacklisted. So let's just turn one of these. Nope, doesn't want to. Well, that's fine. So basically, I have all of these various things in ingot form. So let's go ahead and pull out ingots of all of these various things. This allows me to get the things that I had put into this system back out instead of them just, languishing or me breaking the casting basins and losing them. So there's a useful way of getting things back out of a casting basin if you didn't fill it completely or if there was some other similar issue. I'm going to do this off camera because there's no reason for me to do it on, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so got that all torn down, got everything I cared about out of it. At the moment, I'm preparing to use it to make a whole bunch of Invar, because Invar is valuable to have, and might as well have it when I need it. The next thing that I think it's time for me to do is to build myself some automated farming. Because while this wheat farm over here is great, well, the next thing that I really feel like I need is a whole bunch of rubber. And rubber trees are not so easy to just lay down and automate. Also, they're awful tall sometimes, and climbing up and getting their leaves broken and all the rest of that stuff is not the most fun thing in the world. I've been grinding it off camera, but I don't really want to keep doing that. I want an automated system. And I have the tools to make an automated system, so off I go. So, what is that going to take? Well, we want the planter, which is a machine frame, 2 pistons, a flower pot. I'm going to need some bricks. What do I have for bricks? Nothing. And clay? I do have some clay, so I'm going to take half a stack of clay and toss it in here while we look. So now I was on the planter. All of that should be easy to make. In fact, I'll probably teach my system how to make all these things because I'll be needing them at some point in the future, so might as well do it now. Planter. I want a harvester. which is 2 sets of shears, an Invar axe, again plastic sheets, a reception coil, all that stuff. And I want a fertilizer, though I've had problems with these in the past. Wow, a fertilizer is made from fertilizers. 1, 2, 3. How do you... If fertilizers are made from fertilizers... What did I just get? What was that recipe that I was just looking at? I have no idea what just happened there, folks. Clearly that was a visual glitch of some kind. Or I clicked on something really unusual. I'm going to have to take a look at what this fertilizer fence and fertilizer pipe jackets are, because that interests me. But anyway, the fertilizer is made from leather, and I don't have access to leather yet. So I guess I'm going to have to deal with manually fertilizing unless I can figure out what these fertilizer pipes and pipe jackets are. I'll be right back. Hello, folks. So, I switched these machines up a little bit in favor of a bit of automation that I'm about to set up. Well, let me just show you what I did. I set myself up a sawmill, and I set it up to make planks out of that. I get 5 instead of 3. Seems like a good deal. I set up a redstone furnace and taught it how to make silicon, both of the processors, raw plastic, and how to make that out of rubber bars. I taught the pulverizer how to make nether quartz dust, because I have quite a lot of it. And then I set up all of the machines that are going to export to export, and I used ME interfaces, and I'll show you why. Import. Import buses, even basic import buses, are made from ME interfaces, and these particular machines will push out the back, so I don't need the extra step, so I saved a little bit of resources, a little bit of stuff that I don't need to use up. Now, I am going to make myself an induction smelter, which requires a machine frame and a redstone reception coil. So, machine frame and redstone reception coil. Nice. This is going to go over here on the end. I'm going to set it up for import both from the top and export both from the back and like so. Now, I've been setting these up to point toward the machine that they work with, just in case. I don't want anything to get confused. And because this is a machine with multiple inputs, I'm going to set it up in blocking mode. It will not push crafting items if the inventory contains items. In other words, if it's doing one job, it'll wait and finish that job before it moves on to the next one. That seems to make sense to me. So, now, why did I set all of this stuff up when I told you that what I really wanted to do was build myself a farm, and that I was heavy into the MFR machines? Well, I decided that if I'm going to transfer power over there and transfer items back and deal with liquids and all the rest of that, that I want a tesseract. And so I made a side journey, and I'll show you why. For those of you who haven't played with Tesseract, they teleport power, items, and liquids both directions. So they're teleportation rather than running a whole bunch of cables. They're kind of not cheap. So you start with this, which is silver ingots and bronze ingots, otherwise known as Tinker's Alloy, around a full Tesseract frame. You fill it with a bucket, which is 1,000 millibuckets, of resonant ender. You make the frame with enderium and hardened glass and a diamond. And enderium is made by pyrotheum dust and enderium blend, which is made of pulverized shiny metal, pulverized tin, and a bucket of resonant ender, which again is made by melting ender pearl. So, I'm not going to do all of this quite in front of you just because it's a long and annoying process, but I'm going to instead automate each of the steps of this process, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it does and make the actual frame on camera. I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so I've done all the heavy lifting, as it were. I've set this system up to export ender pearls into here and make resonant ender, and I've been stealing ender pearls from here to fill the system up. It's pumping its resonant ender over here. I've taught this how to fill resonant ender buckets. I've taught this how to make pulverized obsidian, which is used to make hardened glass, pulverized coal, which is how I get sulfur, and pulverized coal, which is needed to make pyrotheum. Taught this to combine the pyrotheum and enderium blends and what to make my enderium ingots. Let's see, what have I done here? And I've taught this system down here how to make enderium blends out of pulverized tin, shiny metal. I've taught this how to pulverize the tin and shiny metal. Let me see. And I've taught it, obviously, how to make the pyrotheum blend out of the materials it has. So, we're down to the final pieces, and I wanted to do this on camera. So, we want a tesseract. So that means that we need a full tesseract frame, which means we need an empty tesseract frame. There's the recipe for an empty tesseract frame, and the system now knows how to make one. So, go ahead and make one. Please. Now it's coming down here and it's smelting this in the induction smelter to make the remaining enderium it needs, because it has 2 already. I had to make that in the process. And now we have a tesseract frame. Now I've showed you this on another Let's Play, but I'm going to lie to the system just a little bit. I'm going to tell it that all it takes is 1 tesseract frame to make a full tesseract frame, because when it's dropped in here, because of the way this is all configured, turns out to be true. In the normal world it's not, but here it is. And there's my tesseract frame. Filled. So now, let's encode this recipe and go and put it in the controller here, which I noticed that of all the things, I didn't set this to down. There we go. Much better. All those are set up good. Now, the last step in the frame with this tesseract frame is, well, it can be made into a bunch of things, including deep storage units, which, trust me, I'll be making later. But this requires silver and bronze. And how am I doing for bronze? I have 8 bronze, which is a problem, but it's not as big a problem as you might think. So what's the recipe for this? Not that, that. Bronze is made from 3 copper and 1 tin, and I could do that in shapeless crafting? Really? Nice. So let me grab copper, tin, got lots of tin, got lots of all these materials at this point, and then just one more time, what is the recipe for this? It's silver. So let me grab some silver while I'm here. Now, clear this. 3 copper and 1 tin makes us 4 bronze. We'll tell the system how to make that. And this, with 4 silver and 4 bronze, makes a full tesseract. Encode that, put that in here. Now clearly, this takes a little while to cook. This is not an instant process. But I think in the end I'm going to want 4 tesseracts. Well, and so I'm going to tell the system to start. And it made one immediately because it had most of the things it needs. But, so it's going to come down here. And let's see what's it doing. It's pulverizing tin as necessary for the pulverized tin for the recipe that it needs. It's probably already smelting some endurium down here. It's doing all the steps. And I can come over here and look, and here are the various crafting steps that it's going through. Right now, it claims it's making 2 endurium, which means they're down in the induction smelter being cooked. Bing, bang. Now it's filling the frame, which is going to take a little while in here. So, I'm going to let these finish while I figure out what to do with my first tesseract. Now, I want it to be near power. I want it to be near my ME system so that I can plug it into an interface. Where's the best place for this going to be? I think it's going to be, well, no. I'm actually going to run a little bit of cable and run a little bit of duct. Why am I going to do that? Because I'm also going to be outputting liquids out of this. So I think over here is a good idea. Let's get conduit. Now, there's a disadvantage, by the way, for me having set this up like this. It means that when the time comes that I next need to make conduit, I'm going to need to make another magma crucible, and I'm going to need to make another fluid transposer, because these are full of endurium. And these recipes for redstone energy conduit require molten redstone, not molten endurium. So I'm going to need a whole other system just for doing that. And that's life. Unfortunately, automation sometimes comes with a cost, and often the cost is you got to set it up a couple of times. So anyway, there's my, I guess it's not really a rant, but my comment on the cost of automation. So I need a interface. So, where's their power? Well, there's power right there. I also think that there's power right there. Relatively close to there, at least. Yep. So I'm going to take the power right here. And fill these blocks back in, because I like to be 100% sure that nothing can grow in the dark places in my base. Let's see. That's going to work out perfect. Okay, so run this power up here. Place my tesseract on it. Then I'm going to connect my interface right here. And I'm going to tell it, with my crescent hammer, that's the device that it talks to. And that's fine. Now it needs a cable to get there. How's my aluminum going? Just fine. And now I want a drum. Okay, so I need to make a cauldron. I need to make 2 of these pressure plates. And now I have myself a drum. The reason that I'm making this drum and fluid ducts and taking a servo, show you. Now I think drums have to be filled from the top or the bottom. So I'm going to take my drum, put it right there. I'm going to run some fluid duct from the top of this to the top of the drum. I actually think this is going to push out, so I may not need a servo, so I'm not going to install one yet. Actually, I am. Better to risk a servo than have this system jam up. So, that. Now, why did I do all of this? Well, remember, the Tesseract, I'm going to set it on device frequency 1, mains, sewage. Sludge. And it's going to it's going to receive items, it's going to receive fluids, and it's going to send power. What that means is this Tesseract is going to ship power out to anywhere that there's another Tesseract on mains that needs it. It's on frequency 1. Yep. It's going to receive fluids, which it's going to dump in here, and it's going to receive items, which it's going to dump in here, which are going to connect them to my ME network. Why is... That's bizarre. Okay. So, I now have a process for shipping power out and items back in from anything that I build out in the world. That's really nice. And while I was gone, you'll notice there are more Tesseracts that have cooked up. This means that I can now go out and set out any devices I want as far away as I would like and get power to and from them. Now, I'm not going to set this one up particularly far away, but I wanted to set up the infrastructure necessary for me to do this many times. So, now. Let's see, I believe I taught this how to make a planter. Thank you. And a harvester. Thank you. And now is the time that I can finally go set them up. Now, I don't need fluid ducts. I'm probably going to need power cable. I'm not going to need item ducts. Let's go over here and configure my system. First, I'm going to remove all of this unnecessary stuff, because I'm done with any form of tree farming like this. It was wonderful back when it was necessary. It's no longer necessary. One more. There. That's cleared up that space. I'm going to get some... Actually, I have plenty of slabs right here. Now, by default, a planter, which is what I have here, will only plant a 3x3 neighborhood. So let's see. I think 1, 2, 3. Yep. That. You know what? Move it over here. That is where my planter is going to go. And I need to get my planter two separate things. I need to get it power, and I need to get it saplings of whatever type it is that it's going to plant. So there's saplings, and I forgot item ducts. Though actually, for the moment, I may have to do this manually. I may. Let's see. Yeah, I think I do have to do this manually. That's fine. Let's see. For doing this manually, I'm going to remove that and that. That's going to allow me to step in here, and hopefully I'll be able to see this planter by walking up to here. Good. I have some torches. Things are going to need light to grow anyway, so I might as well light up this farm pretty thoroughly. Torches are now a cheap thing for me. Once upon a time, the cost of a torch was a big deal in this game. I've slowly worked my way up until it is not. Now, I want dirt. Right there. Good. Now, my harvester needs power. Let's switch this to mains. That should have delivered power to my planter. It did. The moment it has nothing to go on, so it's not doing anything, but it's trying. And the last device that we need here is the harvester, because it's the one that's actually going to collect me the resources and materials that I'm creating. Now, I think it will be smart enough to feed everything into this. If not, then I actually gain myself a little bit of an advantage. I'll show you what that is in just a second. So, let's start with, does this have power? And all the things that it thinks it needs? Let's find out. Let's find a rubber tree sapling. Actually, all the rubber tree saplings I have. And a bunch of bone meal. And since that platform is up high, let's grab one more of those stone stairs I just broke up and threw away. And I may have to remove these in just a minute, but this is fine. So, now, planter. Rubber trees are your thing. Good, that worked. Now, bone meal. Grow some trees. So, if we note, the planter is full of sludge, and it's throwing all its items out the back. So, it's not smart enough to do either of the things that it needs with the Tesseract. That actually is an advantage, and I'll show you why. Just a moment. Hey, look! I'm reaching comfortable with my pickaxe. I had to replace the head, and so it's less awesome than it was. Let me see. I need item ducts. I need fluid ducts. And I need servos. Okay. So now, clearly the items are coming out of here. Out the back. And I would like to feed into here pneumatic servo has been installed, but it doesn't look like it's actually connected to this. Does it need to be connected on a specific side? Oh, it's a fluid duct. I put the wrong kind in. That's silly of me. Give me my wrench back. Now, better. Item ducts. That's what I needed. Now, item ducts. Again, with a servo. Now, I can whitelist this rubber saplings. Now, it's going to try to send any rubber saplings it can there. That's the only thing it knows how to send at the moment, is rubber saplings. That's fine. I'm about to fake it out just a little bit. Come on. I put the wrong one here, too. Come back. There. Now, out of the back of here, it's going to come this line. And it's going to have a connection to here, but this connection is going to be red. In other words, it's going to be the last choice. And so, it's any rubber saplings that come out are going to preferentially end up down here in the planter. Perfect. And any other items that come out, because there's nowhere else for them to go, are going to end up in there. Good. And our final connection doesn't need any sort of intelligence whatsoever. It simply needs... Oh, hey. It looks like it figured out how to get rid of this. Oh, no, it was because I connected there. There. And now we have a way to get sludge out of there and into here. Now let's see if it works. Grab ourselves some bone meal. And bone meal some of these trees. No. It doesn't like that. Well, time to rebuild. I think it requires... No, I know what I did wrong. I didn't set that to output. Yep. That'll do it every time. One whack of a wrench changes all sorts of things. So, let's do that again. Will that work? Nope. Okay. I was vaguely afraid of this. So, chest. I've seen a lot of people have problems with this sort of configuration. Output. Servo. Ignored. Now, is it getting rid of fluids? Well... No, it's not. Let's see if that does the job. It does. Okay. Now, let me take some things and toss them in here, because I don't need these rubber saplings or this raw rubber anymore. But let me go see if I can still click on this. It's getting rubber saplings. It's receiving them from the item duct system. Perfect. That pleases me greatly. And now... if I need rubber quickly, I can go ahead and bone meal some of these trees. And this will chop them down and feed them back in. If I don't need them quickly, I can just walk away and let this system run on its own. But I'm going to do this for a little while. I'm going to bone meal these. I'm probably going to set up some nice stone stairs that'll allow me to easily, climb up there and take a look at them, preferably right side up so that I don't, so that I can use them. And I'll be back in just a little bit because it's just about to be time for me to start up another type of farm. Probably this one. Do I need resources or do I need food? I don't know. Let me think about it. Be right back. Just wanted to let you know I had to make a couple of changes. I realized I hadn't set this up to send fluids and items, so this was backing up, and so are the fluids, and I also did have to come over here and flip this off of red mode for the sludge to exit. You notice now the sludge is transmitting just like it's supposed to. So anyway, there's my farm. Just a minute. So I've definitely made the decision about what I'm doing next. So let me show you. I've decided that it's time for me to automate the picking of a thing that I already have growing and I've sort of been manually doing off to the side when no one was looking. That's this. Did I get that? I did. Right here, I've got all these wonderful mushrooms. And I would prefer that they get picked instead of just sit here. So let's switch this to mains. This is going to send items. Send fluids, receive power. We're going to have this harvester placed on top of it right here. we're going to... Oh, I'm going to need my chest and my item ducts and fluid ducts. And I'm going to need some servos. Okay. Not going to need cobblestone right now for sure. I don't need this. So let's get some of these things down where I can use them. Good. I'm also, by the way, manually turning a bunch of rubber into rubber bars. That seems like a good plan. So, once again, we need a treasure chest. We need an item duct. We need it outputting. We need a servo to tell it to do so without a signal. And we need some fluid ducts with this outputting and a servo to tell it to do so without a signal. Now, this harvester, the moment, isn't receiving power. Why? Oh, because I haven't connected it to a line yet. Haha. There we go. Now this is receiving power, and what I'd like it to do is small shrooms. Yes, please. Now, it should harvest the small shrooms. The problem is, it only does it in a 3x3 area in front of it. So I made myself a copper range upgrade, which will increase the range at which it shears mushrooms to cover this entire platform. It covers a bit more, and in fact, I've been thinking about... That's why I brought some dirt along. Expanding this platform into these, shall we say, unnecessary spaces, places where I could have put a piece of dirt, but didn't, just so that we have as much mycelium growth as we can. And that will give me a couple more mushrooms, so I'm clearly going to need at least one more torch to keep the whole area lit. That was easy enough. And now we have mushrooms coming in. And why do I want mushrooms? Because there's a thing a little later called mushroom cheeseburgers that I really would like. Let me just show you. Let me grab my 2 mushroom types. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be in shapeless craft. It is. See, I could make stuffed mushrooms out of these as soon as I have cows to make cheese, which isn't that far away. I could make grilled mushrooms out of them. That's a snack. These are nourishing meals. I could make vegetable soup. That seems silly. Mushroom risotto out of rice. I don't have onions available at all at the moment. Let me see. Where was it that I was looking for? Ah, yes. The bacon mushroom burger. A hearty large meal. I can make this out of a bacon cheeseburger, which interestingly enough, I can make out of firm tofu, which I don't know if I know how to make firm tofu. I'm hoping I can figure out how to make... List all, replace ice cream. Food 6. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that without killing animals, which makes me sad. So it looks like, despite my best efforts, at some point here, I'm going to have to kill off some animals. I wish there was another way. But unfortunately, I know that there's at least one recipe that I have to make for quest completions that's going to take it anyway. So unfortunately, and I'll apologize to my girlfriend right now, it looks like at some point in the future, animals are going to have to perish on this map. That's sad. Anyway, so now I at least automated the creation of mushrooms. I'll be right back once I figure out my next step, which may have to do with the automation of this farm. Just a minute. So here we go, folks. I figured this one out. Unfortunately, it involves sacrificing 1 square of cropland, but frankly, the rate this is going to go, it's irrelevant. So, once again, I am setting up a filter here. This is going to whitelist seeds. That's going to allow me to run seeds from the harvester up. I'm going to fill this space in with slabs because, well, that's the way it was set up before. Can I put slabs there? Nope. Well, I can put them here. And get me out of this hole. Okay. Now, I need... This is probably... No, the harvester's not running yet, because I haven't activated the Tesseract. Good. Once again, that's going to go like so. This servo is going to go here. It's going to go out. This is going to be ignored. That chest is where all the items are going to go. All the fluids are going to go there. Let's go ahead and fill in slabs where I can. Okay. And there was a torch over here. So, just for continuity's sake, I'm going to put this and put some torches on it, because I can. Still open this? Good. You. Connect. Set up? Yes. Now, it's only going to get this little area in front of it. So, I need an upgrade. And how I figure out upgrades is this. So this is 1 diagonal. That... It's hard to see here. 1 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 3 diagonal. But I want it to get that. So there's 4. There's 5. So I need an upgrade range 6 to get this entire farm. And I need 2 of them. 1 for the planter and 1 for the harvester. So, what's upgrade range 6? Actually, let me do it. I gotta do it up here. No. Where is... There's 7, so there's 6. Need 2 of them. And I can put the rest of this stuff away. So let's go over here and install them. Eat some bread on the road. Oops. So, this is easy. Let's just watch it do its job once. Zoop. Zoop. You notice it just does it in a straight line over and over again. It doesn't cycle back until it's completely finished. I keep breaking hammers over here. How am I doing? 51. Plenty. Now, we're going to need the planter, because otherwise we're not going to have plants up here to harvest. So, let's go ahead and set that up. Now let's make sure that seeds are coming out of here. Everything's coming out of here. That's good. I'm pretty sure there'll be more than enough seeds once they make their way through the system. So let me look. You know what? I have enough seeds in my ME network, enough that I've been throwing them away. So, there, that'll make sure it doesn't run out, ever. Is it working like it's supposed to? I don't know. I feel like it's possible that the water tank and sprinkler are getting in its way. Oh, there it just used some more seeds. There it is, starting at this edge. It's because I made the upgrade so large. 1, 2, 3, 4. This needed a... Let's see, it's already got this. So 1, 2, 3. This needed a 3. Maybe this did too. Maybe I made my upgrades way too big. That's okay. Given the circumstances, I'll still produce wheat faster than I could possibly care about. So, I just have to make sure that this is all connected and working like it's supposed to. So, I'm going to go off camera and figure this out. I'll be right back, folks. Clearly I did something wrong lighting-wise, because if you look, there's a spider over here, and I do not approve. Anyway, I'm going to have to fix some lighting issues around here. Be right back. I remembered a gift that I had gotten from one of my prize bags and decided that I'm going to solve this issue in a slightly different way. I'm worried that it'll affect there, but that's okay. If it does, I'll figure it out. But either way, there's a magnum torch. Theoretically, 64 in every direction and 15 up and down. We should not have any spawning issues happen. And we'll see if my monster spawner dies relatively soon because of it. Anyway, onward. So I decided I'd finish this episode out, folks, with just a little bit of finishing off of quests. It looks like all I have to do is grab myself a plastic sheets, which I have right here, and I will be able to... I guess I have to manually make the plastic sheets instead of letting the machine make it for me. So, grab some raw plastic. Grab myself some plastic sheets. Pick this, claim the reward. Reward bag, as usual. Let's see what we get. And if a good reward bag today, I got a Rotten Heart Hardcore Questing Mode Do Not Eat. Let's see, are there any uses for that? Nope, there aren't. So, I am going to take this. Remember, I messed this up last time. I'm going to take this and get rid of it. I don't want it. I don't want to ever see it again. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. See what other quests we get. I'm not going to the Nether yet. Cultivating the Harvest. Harvester, Planter, Invar Sickle, Sludge Boiler. I haven't made the Sludge Boiler yet, but why don't I just make those machines? I clearly have to make them by hand as opposed to doing it automatically using my crafting system. So, I will guarantee I will use at least one more harvester. Invar axe. Shears. Machine frame. This. I already have the sheets, so I need some gold ingots. Gold ingots. While I'm at it, I need the planter. So that's the materials for the harvester. No, planter. Pistons. I have to grab one more of those in a minute. Redstone reception coil. Another one. Machine frame. I have the plastic sheets, a flower pot. So I need a piston. Craft that for me, please. Which is going to send some planks down here to the sawmill, I hope, and make me a piston. Yep, all is well. I'm actually, while I'm here, going to grab a stack of rubber wood, feed it down here, and feed it into this automatically so that I have planks when I need them. And I think I needed copper for this recipe. So let's find out if I have the things that I need to make those two. Planter. Oop, I want it to be here. One planter, one harvester. Often, when these recipes include things that have potential damage values attached to them, we have this problem where it won't just shift click into place. That's fine. Manual construction isn't that hard. Now, I want an Invar sickle. Make me some sticks, please. Thank you. Actually, that makes me wonder. Recipe for the stick. Is there a recipe for the stick that involves the sawmill? No, not for that. For the stick. Nope, no sawmill. Okay. Let's make myself an Invar sickle. And there's one more thing that the quest demands, which is a sludge boiler. And I haven't made one of those yet, and I want one, because it's going to be used with this sludge that I'm piping in over here, and I better do something with it before the barrel fills up. So, what's the sludge boiler cost me? A machine frame, reception coil, 2 furnaces, 2 plastic sheets, a bucket, and go back to the boiler. Iron ingots. Let's make ourselves a sludge boiler. Nice. That should complete that quest. And now I need to hand in a bucket of sludge. That should be simple. Had I not done all of this work beforehand, that might be an arduous request. I'd have to set up a farm and get all this going, but apparently I was slightly ahead of the game. There's a bucket of sludge. Manual submit. Now, do I want ender lily seeds? I got plenty of ender pearls. I got plenty of seeds. Tomatoes, I know I want. There we go. And it gave me another Invar sickle. A flux-infused sickle. Ooh, what a pretty thing that is. Silk Touch 5, +1 flux damage. It's currently charged. That's a very nice thing to have. Let's see what I have in terms of hearts at the moment. That's what these are called, right? Heart? Yep. Well, I guess I only have this 3/4 of a heart. That's fine. That has a damage value on it, so I'm going to take it out of here and put it over here. Tomato seeds make me very happy that I'll be able to grow tomatoes very soon, which will improve my meals quite a lot. That's a seed. Yep, good. I can easily find it. Now let's go see if there are any others. I need to make a precision sledgehammer. Interesting. Just 3 plastic sheets and 2 sticks. I think I used up all my plastic sheets, but I've taught the system how to make them. Reward bag in the middle. Claim reward. I got myself another one of these mysterious safari nets. Whoa. That was a pretty impressive thunderclap. I don't like these mysterious safari nets because I don't know what's in them. I have seen on other people's playthroughs some pretty seriously scary things come out of them, and so I don't think I'm going to mess with them right now. I think I'm going to wait until I can make myself a bunker made entirely of obsidian, probably 2 layers of obsidian, which I guess I could make right now, but I don't want to. And at that point, then I will consider opening those into it. So let's see what we have in here. Hearts. Combining together to make one more. Up to 7. Now, I can't start this quest apparently yet, which is fine. So let's go look at the others. I haven't started Go with the Flow yet. There's at least one of these that's going to have to do with sludge, but I'm not going to worry about it. Bees and trees I'm not even going to think about. Not going to make this yet. Not going to make that yet. So, it looks slow. Let me open up Hell's Kitchen once. Oh, these are going to be so easy to make. Bakeware, mixing bowl, juicer. Bakeware, glass. Mixing bowl. 3 planks and a stick. Juicer. I want that one. A pressure plate and some stone. Nope, not slabs. A pressure plate. And a stone. Okay, let me make these. These are definitely part of the process that I wish to go through to... I get something wrong there. Maybe it actually has to be in the center. There it is, a juicer. A mixing bowl. And some bakeware. These are necessary parts of the cooking process, and I need to juice an apple. Okay. Manual submit. I need 9 more apples, apparently. I have plenty. Juicer. 9 apples. Bang. Done. Hand that quest in. Manual submit. Claim reward. Let's see what's in my good reward bag. Another rotten heart. Game is just trying to kill me. Okay. Culinary genius involves a couple of more. Pots and pans, a cutting board, a skillet, a mortar and pestle, and a pot. I'm going to actually test something out here. Cutting board. Let's see if I make it here, if it counts. It does. So, skillet, mortar and pestle, pot. Skillet. I was typing the wrong place. Mortar and pestle, pot. Getting tired of running out of sticks, so make me some sticks. Thanks. Now, another recipe, another quest completed. Claiming my reward. Full heart. Sort these things so we can see what we got. It looks like I got some mutton jerky. What uses are there? Nothing. It's just food. Okay. I accept that. The nice thing is that, spice it up. I'm going to have some cows to make cheese. So I guess I'm stuck on that one. So there you go, folks. A little bit of questing done, a little bit of farming done, and it looks like next episode it's time for me to start considering the animals that, despite my general desire not to do so, I am going to have to sacrifice for the greater good. So, see you next time, folks. Oh, one other notation. Notice up there on my map there's absolutely nothing listed. Looks like my magnum torch is too close. So, magnum torch, unfortunately, as much as I would like you to do the job, not gonna. I guess it's time for me to go do some lighting. So, have a good one, folks. See you tomorrow.